can't all sit together, but we can rotate. Now, Michael, you sit over there. That's your seat. Again, there's your seat.
Where's my cap?
So, but we should make a chance to rotate, and so everybody, let's have a seat because the
And I'm married to him. For God's sake.
baby quiet, baby quiet. We were having a debate who was the youngest in the first cousin line.
Sylvia's.
And she is.
And
Sylvia, your mom is the second youngest. So Sylvia has a speech that she's worked on for 3 weeks.
Wow.
Bullshit. I didn't work on it.
And after Sylvia gives her speech, here's what we're gonna do. Everybody's got 10 fingers.
Here's my speech.
After the speech, we're all gonna put up how many fingers how good it is. That's okay. No pressure. Okay. So let's sit down. Let's everybody grab a seat.
So there's no seats for everybody.
There is. There's more tables.
Welcome, Mishpucha. We are all family. We are family. My brothers and my sisters.
I got all my sisters with me.
We are family. Come on, okay, I think the Shuman family. What are you looking at? I think the Shuman family circle was started in the 50s and 60s. That's as far back as I can go that I remember. And the one in charge was Eddie.
The Presidente.
He was the organizer, the arranger, the planner, the director.
The
He
comedian.
was everything.
And the comedian.
Yeah. I cannot fill his shoes. He was the glue in the family. He brought everybody together. I miss him dearly. I miss him. Steve is going to carry the torch. He's next to the baby. There's the baby.
I'm the baby. I claim the claim. I'm the baby. I'm proud of it.
We had an argument about that.
No, no argument. I won.
There's 17 years difference between Stevie and myself. And it really doesn't look it, does it?
She has all her hair.
Well, it's not all mine, but enough of it. Anyway, back to my speech. I think I'm on the third sentence, yeah. I'd like to wish a mazel tov to Shirley and Norman on the wedding of their granddaughter, Lindsay. When the Shuman family started, we all lived in Baltimore. North Baltimore, East Baltimore, West Baltimore, Nalock, Minnetonka. What the hell is Minnetonka? Reservation. Arizona. Another Indian reservation. We have children living in England, Chicago, Atlanta, Georgia.
And Florida.
And Japan. Who's talking? You or me?
I'm helping you.
You're messing with the wrong one. I just started.
I'm not talking about myself.
Wait a minute. I'm not finished my sentence.
Let her finish.
Shut!
I'm talking about my son. You should
So
try.
we got Florida. Shut! And we have Japan. Josh. Ikakadeska. Oh, and the rest. And the rest, I have no clue. That's the only words I know. And we thought you were smart. That and konnichiwa.
Konbanwa.
Konbanwa.
Konbanwa. Good evening. Konbanwa.
He's waiting for my next sentence. Look at him. Yeah, we all are.
We're hanging on every word.
Yes. I really don't have anything much to say, except that he says, how about if we have something different, like some games? It's up to Stevie. We'd probably have a pinata here and get the tail on the donkey, right?
Do I have to? Damn. Now what do I do?
And he says to me, I want you to be the speech maker. Well, I don't have the voice for it.
Oh, yes, you do.
No, I I do want to say that I'm so happy to be here and to welcome everybody, and we do have a couple strangers from the Shuman family that we haven't seen in a long while. And Joe and Barry and Brenda.
The baby. The baby. How are they? You forget that. She was the baby.
We also would like to welcome Pam and Morty. There they are. This is Barry's son. Hannah and Haley. And Hannah and Haley. Hi, and little Lana. I thought it would be a great idea, because I just asked Brenda before, tell me about your kids and whatever, you know.
Everybody stand up.
So how about somebody, starting, just stand up and tell us how many kids you got, who are they, and their grandchildren?
Yeah.
I can start. I'll start. Hold it. Just
He's not even a Shuman.
She made a good comment. She said, that's how He's here. Absolutely. Oh, he's here. He's not the same. Oh, yeah. I have two kids, Ira and Susan. Susan is here. Ira is 4 years younger than Steve, and they are part of his peer group, not me, because they were little brats when I was, little brats. But I have 5 grandchildren, thank God. Susie has 2 kids, Katie and Rudy. Rudy's living in New Orleans. And Ira has 3 kids. Rosie, who's living in Portland, Oregon. Wow. And I'm a great-grandma.
Oh.
And their baby is named after Eddie. His name is Eddie. Nice. He's 2 years old.
Awesome.
And not forget, there's Zachary, who's married. And there's Eli, who just got married a couple weeks ago.
Wow.
So that takes care of my family. And whoever wants to go next, Joe?
I'm not going next. I think Joe should go next. Brandon's go next.
I have 2 girls. One is 45, and how old is the other one? 6 years younger. 39. The oldest has 2 girls. One that just became the bat mitzvah.
Very nice.
And thank you. And they live in Baltimore. And my other daughter lives in Hoboken, New Jersey, and she has a son and a daughter, one that's 6 and 4 years old. And she's running for, the school board, as a matter of fact, right now. So I keep on saying maybe she'll become a mayor. There you go.
Don't wish that on her.
I know, she keeps on saying, Ma, but she's not going to do that.
Joe, how about you?
Okay.
All right, Joe, you're up.
We have 2 girls also, and I'll make you all jealous. They both live within 2 blocks of my house. And 5 grandchildren, ages 5 to 9.
Right around the town.
Wow.
Wait a minute. I just want to say one thing I forgot to say. I'm sorry. There were 4 sons and 1 daughter of the Ida and Isidore Shuman. 4 sons, 1 daughter. They all got along beautifully, even the wives. We all got together on the holidays, and we all went to shul on Gay Street at Ohel Yaakov.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
Name of the cemetery. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
we've all seen it many times.
Yeah. 16 kids is what they produce. It's 5 people. And we're the group of the 16. 6 are missing. 6 are gone. But we're here, and let's make it a yearly thing if we can. I think it would be beautiful because our parents would love it. So I have, thank you, Sylvia. I have 3 boys. One is in the UK, married to Tracy. They have 2 boys, Jacob and Jasper. I have Arnie in Atlanta, who has 4 children. Sid, Isabel, and David, and Layla, who's adopted from Ethiopia. And I have Mark, who lives in Chicago, married to Christina. We have 2 girls, Laura Rose, who lives with my mother, and Luna. So that's my son. I have pictures.
To prove it, to prove it.
Marvin, come on.
Good, Marvin. I let my mouthpiece speak for you.
Well, we have 2 children. We have a girl that lives 4.2 miles away from me.
4.2.
2, but he's counting. Right.
You tell her, Jack. You
Right.
tell her, Jack.
And she has a boy and a girl. They're a couple. I have a boy, she has a son that just left from Maryland, and a daughter who is going to be driving soon.
Fun start.
Oh my God. And then we have a son who's in Florida, who's married and has 3 stepchildren.
Wow.
2 boys and a girl. And everybody is well, and we're happy, and we're well.
Yeah. And let me just say one more thing. My brother Barry is no longer here. His son Morty is here, representing Vivian. Kelly and Hannah are all with us.
Pam, you're not the only Pam Shuman in this family. Pam Shuman. My brother Earl, may rest in peace, had a daughter, and her name is Pamela. And she lives in Ventnor, New Jersey, and her name is Pamela. So she's a Pam Shuman.
Great.
Nice.
Mike,
You're next.
why not?
Why not?
Can I leave the corner now, Steve?
You're too old.
If you behave.
Oh, okay, I don't know if I could do that.
He got those tall shoes.
All right, let me see now. I'm Michael Shuman, her baby brother. Oh, well, something funny that we were supposed to tell about, not know who. This young lady used to drive me around the neighborhood, and everybody thought that, thought that I was her illegitimate child.
Whoa.
There's 12 years difference.
I believe that I probably am.
I would have thrown you out with the dishwater. But don't take it personally.
Now, this is my wife, Joy, my second wife, my beautiful wife, Joy, of 21 years. And I have 2 children, a boy and a girl. My son is, my daughter just turned 53. She was living in Florida, but now she's living in Hagerstown, Maryland. She has a son, 27, Joshua, who lives in Jupiter, Florida.
Well, my son lives in Jupiter.
Who?
My son lives in Jupiter.
Okay. And I have a son, Sandy, who's 52, and he has a daughter, Brianna, who's 23, and a son, Dylan, who's 25.
Where they live?
They live in Mount Airy. That's me.
So,
Wendy.
Wendy.
You're on Wendy.
Don't forget who you are. Don't forget anything.
So I'm Wendy and my husband Mark. We have a daughter, Mara, and she's 23 and a half. and she would have loved to have been here tonight with everyone, but unfortunately she was working. But she will, we will all see her soon. She works
at Wegmans, so go visit her.
I was going to say that. It's my turn to talk. So she works at Wegmans and in Hunt Valley here, and she works in the bakery, and she's learning how to do some cross training to learn how to do some bread and breakfast and baking all the bagels and making cakes, and she does a remarkable job. Her passion is to one day get a food truck or open up a business and have her own bakery. And
She don't want her own bakery.
yeah, I know. You know that. You know all about that. But she does love, that's her passion. She does love baking and cooking, and she lives at home with us, and she's great. We have a great relationship, and she enjoys being out with her friends, and
That's it, hooray.
all that. So
You're very active on
I'm
Facebook.
very active on Facebook.
And you guys,
She's a Snapchat queen.
and Mark and Mara both won free Chick-fil-A for a year.
That's right.
Are you get any of that, or is that?
I can kind of get into that.
Okay,
too,
all
yes.
right, good.
Shirley, let's hear it. Here I am. Wait a minute. My son just called, and I have a daughter, Sherry, and another son, Howard, and his daughter is getting married. My granddaughter's getting married, and he has, let me see, just two boys, and then.
Shirley, you should have let the big mouth talk. I can't even hear you.
All right, I have a son, Howard, and Bobby, and Sherry. Sherry has two sons, and my son, Howard, has two girls, and my other son has two boys. And they're, and six grandchildren.
Oh, we can add.
Six grandchildren. Huh?
Forget it.
What about?
Don't worry.
All right. Janet Love.
Come on, Joe, you can speak.
Well, I have a very low voice, so I don't think anybody can hear me.
We hear you. But you'll hear him.
We have a son and two daughters. One daughter, Dina, passed away when she was 47, and she has a grandchild, Jared, and then my son, he has two boys, Aaron and Zachary, and my daughter Linda, she has a son and a daughter, Lindsay and Mark, and that's it.
Now you have a great grandchild.
And a great grandchild. Very good.
Okay, my next. I'm next. Okay. Just to illustrate how genes flow through a family, this evening I pull into the parking lot at about the same time as Mort. You'll laugh again too.
Yeah, say the
Me?
whole story. Say it all.
Yeah. So Mort and his family arrive at the same time. Soon as Mort gets out of the car, I say, that is Morty. And how did I know that? Because he looks just like Barry. Right? He looks just like your father. And so I walked up to Morty and I said, hi, you're Morty, I'm Steve. And
Steve who?
Steve.
He said, Steve who? He said, have we
Steve
met
Pine.
before?
Yes.
And I said, yes, at your bris. Then he remembered.
I don't remember
I
that.
didn't even ask him to pull his pants down. I knew it was him.
Oh man! Wow.
So
What an intro.
so my family. So this is my beautiful wife of
Hey,
45
Arlene.
45 years.
45 years I've been with her.
Lived with me. Usually she complains about me being an engineer, but this is my beautiful son. Beautiful. Handsome. Now, I did this tree over here I did with Ancestry.com, and as most of you know, you can do a blood test and you can tell your heritage. And I think you and your son have done it, right? You and Mark?
Yeah, Mark said he did his heritage. He said he's 15% not Jewish. I said, that can't be.
African
So he
American.
had me. So if I'm 100%, then it has to be David.
It has to be David. So we haven't done his test yet. It's got to be at least 15% African American.
Yeah, but don't forget about where he gets that hair from.
Okay. So his wife Erica, unfortunately, she couldn't make it. She had to work, and he has 2 daughters. One of his daughters is right over there. That is Lana. Lana got that dress today. She's sister wearing it. And Lana has a sister whose name is Sora. And Sora's picture can be found on the family tree. Sora is 2 years old. So people, my youngest cousin, Brenda, asked on the phone the other day, could people get a copy of the family tree? So what I'll do is since I did it on Ancestry.com, I'll send everybody a link to it. So if you want to, you won't get the whole thing, but you can get pieces of it. Because I had to paste it together. And then what I would want people to do is, sometimes just mark up this or send me an email, and I can, because there's mistakes on this, so I can, send me pictures, whatever, and we'll try to keep it updated. I do want to give kudos though to Mark, because how did this get? You know, it's wonderful to have the memories, but it helps to have something written down, because all of us, we can't recollect everything.
I can.
So this all started with her son, Mark. Mark started the family tree.
Yay, Mark.
And then from Mark, it went to Robert, and Robert, Norman and Shirley's son, Robert, and then it went to Basil, who lives in Israel. And Basil expanded the family tree.
He just lost his wife.
And Basil, unfortunately, his wife passed away just recently. But Basil expanded it to over 200 pages. 200 pages. So it's quite the family tree. So, see, the other thing I wanted to say is...
I want to say something.
Okay, Martin's going to say something. So, we are going to play a game. It's not going to be pin the tail on the donkey. Sorry.
Are you going to pin the tail on the family tree?
Since a lot of us haven't met each other, or some of us haven't met each other, I thought it would be fun to play a game where I wrote a description or a story or something for most of us, and then we're going to hand it out, and then we're going to read it, and then we're going to try to guess who that person is, and it's going to be a way to introduce ourselves, because it'll be a little factoid about people, so I think that'll be interesting. And the most important thing I want to say is that the next person to speak is going to pick up the bill.
Something I want to tell you all, whether you know it or not, but my father was the first Shuman of us here to come to this country.
Amen.
Now, from documentation that I got from Sylvia, our name wasn't Shuman in the old country.
Right.
It was Suster. S-U-S-T-E-R.
I thought it was Sandler. No.
I can show you the
No, I
document.
have the documents too. It's Suster.
Suster. I can show you the
Sandler's was the
document.
one that went to college.
And here's the story what happened. My father came first. His uncle, Dave Shuman, who had a confectionery store on Lombard and Lloyd Street, was his sponsor.
That was Zeta's brother.
Zeta's brother, right. That's what made him his uncle.
There's a smart ass in every group. I deserve a medal. A gold medal. We got that set aside. We didn't know you knew about it.
My father wanted to bring his family to this country.
Right.
So he worked hard, earned the money, and sent it to Birs, Lithuania, to bring his family to this country. It was done, set up. I don't know what date it was, when they were supposed to come, but they were supposed to come, and my father went to the port to meet the ship. The ship came. They weren't there. These people over here in this corner, their father, Meyer Shuman, decided we shouldn't come to the new country with nothing in our pockets. We should take the money that Sam sent us, and we're going to rent it in the orchard for the summer. And we're going to rake in the harvest and
Marv,
have
I
money.
think it's above a nicer, okay?
Yes.
It
I
isn't.
really,
I asked my father, it's true. He told me
he'll
this.
tell you.
So, what happened that summer, there was a drought. And there was no harvest. So how long does this take to communicate? It wasn't a telephone, it had to be by letter, mail, back and forth. And my father got the bad news that they spent the money, so he had to go back again, earn the money, and send for them the second time. And the second time they came.
How long did that take? It hadn't taken years.
Over a year, yeah, over a year. But my father came to this country, I believe, I think he was 14 when he came. Then he was 14. But he had to make his age 16 so that he could work. And that's where there's a little confusion between my father's date of birth. He told us it was 19. I looked at 1900. When I looked it up, it was 1897. That's the story how we got here.
All right, Marv. Susie doesn't have a story to tell because she's not a cousin. She's a second cousin. Yeah, but I told her story. And this is her husband, Paul, by the way, who wasn't introduced. He's new.
He's new.
Not the same thing that a loving husband.
What? You forgot?
20 years being married. How many years? 64. 64.
And in June, we celebrated 46.
11 Baltimore for 6 days. We've already spent one. And I mean,
Are we going to eat soon?
He's coming. He's got to order first. He's coming now.
We got to do the 4 questions first.
We'll do that after.
yeah, no, seminary USB,
Okay.
This person, so the game is, it's obvious. This person was a teacher in Baltimore City, Baltimore County schools for 39 years, and then was an assistant professor, was a taught at Towson College for 19 years. Did you get one? And yes, that's a large number, but this person said she started teaching when she was 10. So, let's guess. Who is it?
Eileen.
No. You are wrong. Guess again.
Brenda.
Brenda. That's
You
it.
have it wrong, not 39 years.
I'm sorry.
30.
Oh my God.
And 19.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I insulted your sister. What? I went there. Brenda, you read one. Brenda.
What?
Do one.
Oh, okay. Oh, this is
Oh
what
my
we do
God.
in a
Yeah.
restaurant.
Okay.
And with sweet southern accent. For example, what Tom is it?
Who is it? Did you hear it over there?
Aunt with sweet teacher voice is coming out right now. Teacher's voice. Aunt with sweet southern accent. For example, what Tom is it?
Ray.
Exactly. He's got it.
Your mother.
That's
My
right.
mother.
That's right.
What
That is right.
Tom is it?
Yeah, that's the way she talks. That's the way she talks. Where was she born?
Everybody says she has like a southern accent.
Right, that's what you said.
My mother was a basketball player.
Oh wait, I have to say one thing. When I was in college, I was in graduate school, and Brenda called me up, and she says, I need a substitute, I'm desperate, I need a substitute teacher. Would you do it? So I substitute. What grade were you teach? Third?
Fourth and fifth grade.
Fourth and fifth grade. I'm in the class. I happened to have a goatee at the time. By the time lunchtime came around, I literally was screaming at the top of my voice. You could not hear my voice. My sister Iris, who taught at the same school, comes to the door and she says, oh, first of all, she walks in the room, she flicks the light switch. The kids are like, they went from you couldn't hear my voice to boom, silent. She says, you're embarrassing me. Go ahead.
You know, Stevie, Adeline and I and Iris
Taught at the same school. Yeah.
Apparently Steve did for one day.
No, I didn't ask the half day. She threatened me. The principal is mad. It's on me.
I don't remember.
All right, Marlene,
Yes.
read one.
There's 3 of them.
Pick one.
Okay. Oh, this is an easy one.
Okay.
Works in a pharmacy.
Miss August.
Works in a pharmacy. Who is it?
Toby August.
Do I know?
Toby August.
No. Yes, again.
Wendy.
Oh,
Yes.
I know that one, so I gotta.
My 4th grade teacher was Miss Yorkin.
Erica. Susie. What you got?
Yeah, she was Barry Yorkin was her.
Exactly.
He was a twin. My 3rd grade teacher was Miss Bull.
That's right.
What, Maven?
Trivia.
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 Silverstein, she changed to Sherman.
That wasn't the question. Read the statement.
No? Well, you know Miss Campbell, though.
How many do you have in front of
She
you?
was there forever.
Oh, we have lots here.
Read a different one.
And the principal was Mr. Garrett.
As a kid, and
Yes, he
featured
did.
in the Sun
Yes, he did.
newspaper,
Bad
named
funding,
Sun after Sandy Koufax.
Right down the street.
That was an extra hint. Who is it?
Michael.
Michael. That's right.
It's great to reminisce.
Joe, you want it? Joe or Janice?
Mr. Seabold.
Janet.
Janet, rather. Sorry. Janet.
Sorry.
You're trying.
Work for State Patrol.
Shirley. Shirley.
No, Shirley.
Oh, hey, Stevie, you could have done one like with my father and Shirley. You should have done that one. I got one.
Okay.
These 2 lived with polar bears.
Live with polar bears.
Janet and Joe, they lived in Anchorage.
I got another one.
Okay.
Exuberance in a small package. My mother.
You don't get to guess. Of course you know it. Of course you know it. Do you have a third one? Okay, Wendy's going to read one. Okay, Norm. Say again, Norm. And it says multiple right answers.
What was it? What was it?
Played pool.
Your father.
No, it's lots of answers to this one. Played pool.
Your
and swim.
sister. Iris.
Everybody.
Everybody. Right.
All the cousins.
All the cousins.
Even the second cousin. Yeah. Iris. They did well.
And my father was obsessive compulsive about about his office, and his office was next to the
What
pool
is obsessive
table.
compulsive about everything?
And he wouldn't let me touch anything. Brenda came over. She sat on his adding machine. I expected him to hit her. He started laughing.
But if you had done it,
If I had done it, it would have been over. Okay. Who's reading?
That's because I was the baby.
That was the reason.
Stevie,
You were
what did your
cuter.
father invent that he
Who was
smelled everybody?
cuter?
Family.
Several things: floor wax and insecticide.
Oh, wait a minute, Stevie. Pine
Fine wax.
wax.
That's
He
it.
thought he was going to make $1 million that way.
He thought he was going to make $1 million wrong this scheme.
I think he used that wax on his mustache.
Hair and the mustache.
The black
Yeah, he's always dyed his
all
hair.
died.
I have
Dyed
pictures
his
of him in
hair
that little
and dyed
bit,
his
that little ring.
mustache. And what was your father before he became an inventor?
My father
No,
was
don't you tell us.
Oh.
Somebody else.
Oh,
To the
sorry.
shipyard.
Nope. He was a night watchman.
In the shipyard.
He had a uniform. He had a hat, a badge, and a nightstick.
In the shipyard.
Shipyard.
In the shipyard. That's right. Okay, Marvin.
Wanted to play with dolls with Sylvia, came over, but Sylvia wanted to play football with Earl instead.
Janet.
Want another one? Bought his clothes from Montgomery Wards and drove a Pontiac.
Marvin.
No.
I had a Pontiac, but I never drove one.
One more time, everybody can hear it.
Bought his clothes from Montgomery Wards and drove a Pontiac.
No, is it? Yeah, they just
Uncle Sam.
Michael? Joy knew the answer.
Michael.
Michael, but it was Michael's father. Yeah, maybe Michael's father.
Eli?
Then your father had a Pontiac?
My father bought his clothes at Montgomery Wards.
Some clothes, we're not trying to say he bought every piece of clothes.
I know he
He
drew
drove
the
a Pontiac.
Pontiac. I know he drew the Pontiac.
All right, I got another one. This cousin ran a hotel in Atlantic City. Later in his life became a bail bondsman.
No, that's incorrect.
Sonny.
Earl, brother Earl. I got another one.
All right.
A woman ahead of her time worked out at the gym.
Well, there's multiple answers. I was thinking of your mom. I was thinking of your mother.
My mother.
Yeah, didn't she
She
work
never
out?
worked out at
My
that.
mother never worked out.
She worked out at the movie house.
She worked out at the liquor store.
Well, then the answer is Shirley.
Excuse me again.
I got another one.
It's definitely
Oh
Shirley.
my goodness.
I got two more.
Okay.
How'd you get so many?
Served in World War I.
Your father.
I know, right?
Correct.
No, he's
But
not.
the rest of the story is, he got quarantined. He
he
never left Fort Halliburton. And the war was over.
Oh, my goodness.
He remembers you.
I'm glad I left out that part of the story.
Last
Not as
one.
good.
Go ahead.
These cousins bought little Stevie a paint by number birthday gift. Very nice. Then they decided he was too young and it would be better if they opened the gift, do the painting themselves, and give him the finished painting.
Steve doesn't forget these kinds of things.
Did you guys over here, just a hint, from this end of the table, did that sound familiar?
It must
From
be a family thing.
here over, does that
David?
sound? Not David.
Marty.
Marty and Iris.
Marty and
Marty and Iris did that.
Did that to you.
What'd they do?
Well, you had to pay attention. You decided to
We're
have
talking
to take
about
it.
Millbrook, sorry. Talking about our elementary school.
Johnny.
All I'm gonna say is.
You'll get it motivation.
I know.
His brothers and sisters love to dance at the family circle. Eddie. Brothers and sisters.
Brothers and sisters.
I didn't hear it.
These brothers and sisters love to dance at the family circle.
That was you and your brother, wasn't it? But you used to like to dance.
I know, my father and Aunt Lena.
That's the answer I was looking for.
Father and Aunt
Yeah, very good.
And you know the name of the dance I like to do? Called Forest Pond.
So what was it called?
Called Forest Pond. And let me tell you,
We want you to demonstrate, Janet.
dance back to
Janet, let's see it.
Janet, did you know we danced with Barry and
I did,
Lynn?
yes, I did. But Aunt Lena and my father danced all the time.
All the time.
Wow.
Yeah.
He has very curly hair. Now that could be a lot of people. Mark, my father, Josh.
No, it's Norman Deck. Had very curly hair. I still got it.
That was a trick question.
That was.
Because
This way everybody.
Cindy had curly hair.
Cindy, I was thinking of Cindy actually.
All right, pencil mustache.
Joe Time.
I thought your father, I thought Uncle Mike had this too.
They all had
Okay,
mustaches.
when driving,
But
we
they
make
pencil
3
in.
right turns to avoid making a left.
You can't answer
You?
That only had information.
Read it again. They didn't hear it.
Okay. When driving, would make 3 right turns to avoid making a left. That was in Shirley.
I used to drive with it.
When driving.
Was it Shirley or
Was
was
it-
it Iris?
Wait a minute, was it Iris?
All right, answered?
Now, who was the last president of the family circle?
Eddie, Martin.
Me.
Oh, were you? That's why.
That's called sandbagging. I knew the answer.
At family circle meetings, might raise her hand and say, Madam President, I have a question in an undisguised, derisive manner. Hint, Madam President was her daughter-in-law whom she did not like very much.
Stumped.
Everybody stumped?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Read again, it's not that hard.
A young guy or a yenta?
She knows the answer. Okay, read it again, Mike.
At family circle meetings, might raise her hand and say, Madam President,
Do it with the Yiddish accent. That's why they did it.
Madam President, I have a question.
Madam President.
Talking about your mother.
Aunt Rose? They didn't see Aunt Rose.
Your mother.
What?
Aunt Rose?
Aunt Rose.
Aunt Rose.
Your
Because
mother.
she did not like Eddie's wife.
Oh, she did.
Did like who?
Eddie's wife.
Look, Eddie didn't like her.
Because she was a police intelligence.
She remembers her name.
Gabby.
Gabby.
But her next door neighbor liked her.
You know who liked her? Well, my father liked her. Did you know that, Sylvia? Gabby?
So she was president also. With Eddie's help.
Who's got another question?
We've got another
I
question.
have finished all up. I have.
Wait, he
No, we
did.
have
He
one.
has two. Do you have another one?
Wendy has.
Wendy, you got one.
You're waiting patiently.
Okay. She likes to eat edamame and boogers.
Boogers. On top of
Excuse me, in the corner there. Read again. Lana, pay attention here.
Lana.
Lana, here's the question.
Ready? This one?
Here's the question.
She likes to eat edamames and boogers.
Who would that be? Edamame and boogers.
Right, She said, no way. Shrek does, right?
Shrek. Okay, we'll move on. I offended my granddaughter.
She said, no way.
No way.
Okay, I got one. Worked with, Steve Eller was a neighbor of mine. Worked with Steve Eller at Beth Tefillah Camp.
Janet. I know that one.
Janet.
I worked there too.
You worked there too?
Yep.
Janet, you were there a long
Makana,
time.
baby lama.
What else? Anybody else have any good ones?
Sing, sing, Beth Tefillah.
Bring it to me.
I think really maybe they've had.
You have to pass it around?
I ordered it, so maybe they.
Aaron's got one.
Okay, so this one says, one word, chocolate chip cookie.
Aunt Lena.
I knew that one.
Okay, now read the next part.
All right, extra credit. Where did she keep the cookie
On
jar?
a cookie jar underneath the sink. Underneath the sink. Underneath the sink.
Somebody gets
So you were a fourth grader. What would you say to you now?
Stop yelling out the answers.
Who wants to be a fourth
I
grader?
remember that.
Me.
Very clearly saying.
I'd like to have that.
All right.
Still have it?
No, he broke it.
Who's he?
Michael.
Really? You saved the jar?
Michael broke it.
Did you brown it? Did you get the brown?
No, we swapped seats. Last one. Last one. Oh, Arnie's got one. Here's mine. Taught little Stevie to pee standing up. Who taught me to pee standing up?
Brenda.
Brenda. I heard Brenda. What did I do?
What did I ever do to you? What did I do to you? No, it was Barry.
Barry.
Joe's got it.
I have a question. I have one. It's written right down.
All right, the last one, and the last one.
Bought cousin Stevie a toy truck for his
I did not, yeah. That was your time. Nobody really cared.
I only got one.
What did it say? Say it again.
Hand it to Wendy.
Let me see. It was
Okay.
I have one.
Okay.
Anybody need a hot one here? Anybody order one?
I don't know.
All right, Stevie, you ready for this one?
Yeah.
Who tore out the transmission of his parents' Pontiac trying to spin wheels?
Wasn't me.
Nope.
Sylvia.
Nope.
Eddie.
Nope.
You.
Nope.
Pearl.
Nope.
I have no idea.
David.
David did.
I taught him how to peel out. He did it the wrong way. And he tore out the transmission.
At a family circle picnic by Bay Shore, who jumped into the water?
It was Workman's Circle.
Workman's Circle jumped into the water, ripped his leg open,
Marvin.
and then there was a sign there. The sign said, "No diving." So we said to Marvin, his mother said, Lena says, "Didn't you see the sign?" He said, "That's why I didn't jump in head first." That's it.
Are these worth asking? I don't know if they're. I don't know.
No, we're probably.
Will anybody? Okay.
Oh, this last one was owns socket to use store at airport. That's not worth doing. No.
Who is that?
That's her. These two.
Oh, okay.